Hello everyone, so in this video we will talk about the BETAFPV Pavo20. We finally receive it, so we will go and check the content of this. So we finally received the BETAFPV Pavo20 Pro. So let's go and open this up. See how it looks like. What else do we got? Some extra propeller, the USB-C, the mount, some extra screw, LED lights, and of course we have the mount, which is way bigger compared with the previous one. This is the previous Pavo20 mount. See this? It is way longer. It is made of a stiffer material compared with this one. The O3 is friction fit here, so there is no screws, and some cards. So let's look at the similarities between the two. Basically, they are both pusher type. We have a bigger frame compared with the BETAFPV Pavo20. The material is thicker here. See, it's not bending. Hard plastic. This one, it bends a bit. See? So let's look at the dry weight of the Pavo20 Pro. Got the VTX. Added the mount is around 69. The battery connector is XT30. Battery slot could actually accommodate a 2S up to probably a 4S. You are given the freedom to put any size of the battery. For the battery, BETAFPV suggested that you use a 3S 450 mAh up to 650 mAh. This flight controller is the F4 223S 20 ampere all-in-one flight controller version 1. One thing that you will notice with the design of this flight controller is that the capacitor is not here, while in the previous version this capacitor is here and it's protruding. So this design is welcomed. So the capacitor now is in the bottom of the flight controller. The motor is a Lava 1104 with 72,000 kV, while for the previous Pavo20 it is 1103 8500 kV. So this is a bit bigger compared to the previous one. They are now using a gem fan custom made for BETAFPV. This is the 2218 three-bladed propeller with a 1.5mm shaft. This design is way similar with the Vata 2. Look at the grommets. I put the shorter end facing down. If you're having difficulty doing this, get a screwdriver that would be able to fit. See, that's how you do it, and it will not move at all. Okay, so we need to get the connector for the LED strip hidden underneath the board. See that? Get the tweezer and be careful because it's actually placed just above the capacitor. Okay, so next we will put our LED strip. This is the color blue, although I prefer a white colored LED strip. So just place it here, and the whole this part will be here, and we could actually plug it in. So now it is plugged in. We could just place this. So start from the middle of this curve. Some do skip this part, but I don't. I like it. I like LED strips on my drone. So you reach the other end, just cut the LED strip in this part. Okay, next we will now install the O3 air unit. This is the full O3 air unit with the case. Just need to press it here. Now we are using the full antenna. So what you need to do is, as you can see here, there is a groove. You can just place the antenna above this canopy. Okay, so this is the current weight. It's 112.75. So we'll configure the Pavo20 Pro. Ports tab, space, configuration tab. I just remove the RX lost so that if I lost connection, the motor will not do a beeping sound, which will, of course, if you left unattended, it will burn the motor. Air mode, I disable this. Power, I put it at 3.3. I haven't saved it. 3.3 modes. These are the modes I'm in. As you can see here, I put an air mode because I usually put it on a switch. We will try to fly this in this open field for our maiden flight instead of flying this at home, because there are a lot of trees that will dampen the wind. Let's see if the Pavo20 Pro could really handle this kind of wind. When I was flying the Pavo20 here, it's having difficulty flying. One thing that I really wish BETAFPV done something is this very short cable. It's quite short, but I really like the LED. Dang. So we have done our flights, and based on our flight test, this is really a capable drone. The amount of wind that is usually difficult for the Pavo20 to fly through, Pavo20 Pro could just fly through the wind with ease. Who would have known that just by increasing the propeller size and using an 1104 from an 1103 motor would really improve the handling of the Pavo20 Pro. One thing that I just noticed is if I use the rate profile that I used for the Pavo20, it would be too much for the Pavo20 Pro. So I have to tinker again and change the rate profile that I'll be using with this drone. But it is a very capable device even at this size. One thing to note is I really love the way they change the canopy by making it longer and having two sets of holes here that could protect the camera. So the arms, the carbon fiber frame arm of this Pavo20 Pro is 3, and actually it's 2.5. So the thickness really is substantially thicker here. I just noticed that I lost one screw on after I did a lot of this flight maneuver. So if you will receive your Pavo20 Pro, try to adjust all of the screw because it won't hurt. Make sure that all of this are properly seated. Another thing is I use this antenna that came from with the O3 air unit. It offers good range, but I think it is somehow dragging the Pavo20 Pro when I flip and roll. So I'll probably use the included antennas. The flight time, it is around 3 minutes to 4 minutes depending on the your flight. If you'll be doing a lot of freestyle move, you'll have probably less than 3 minutes, especially if you're flying very, very high. Now for the gem fan blade, this is quite a soft blade. The flight is good when I'm using this. So probably there's a reason why they made it softer. So motor post to motor post, it was 92.7. It's 88.3. So if you're still torn on which of this will you get, the Pro or the Pavo20 original, if you want a very small quad that could lift an O3 air unit or probably the O4 air unit when it's released, you'll never go wrong with the Pavo20. But if you like to do some freestyle movement, the bigger propeller and the bigger motor will give you a better flight experience than a smaller one. A better canopy, sturdier propeller guard, a better propeller will really make the Pavo20 Pro a better option. If there is one thing that I dislike about this, it would be battery lead. It's quite short, so I had to cut the LED strip so that the XT30 would be placed like this, because if not, it would be like this, and my batteries will not reach this port. And of course, this will not be a review if this did not crash. We crashed a couple of times and I haven't seen any damage, or even with the propeller guard, even the canopy is good. See, there are a lot of grasses and it fell really, really hard, and still it's in good condition. So BETAFPV really did a good job into updating the Pavo20 to something that would be meaningful and could be useful for a couple of years ahead. Basically, that is our setup and our flight test of the Pavo20 Pro. It is really a compelling upgrade if ever you're coming from a Pavo20 or even a Pavo Pico. The bigger propeller and the bigger motor really gives it the needed oomph for your flight, especially if you're doing some freestyle movements with your very small drone. Even I did not use a decased O3 air unit with this one, and still it is able to fly very, very fast if it could do those freestyle movements. With the Pavo series, BETAFPV really made it easy for people to get their hands on a drone, because they only need to offer the essential parts and without the VTX, so that they could lower down the price. So we will end the video here. Hope to see you in the next video. Happy flying. Take care.